Hey guys, so hope you guys had a good weekend. We are back into trading and we had quite a nice little day here. When we opened this morning, it absolutely looked like we were about to see, as you can see here, just another straight green push that the market was going to keep doing what it was doing, that we were just going to keep pushing green. However, we came into this absolute brick wall of 407.3 and that became resistance. So this level is a very, very big level. You can see here on the daily that was resistance from the start of the sell-off back on Friday the 17th. On the weekly, you can see how perfect of resistance that is right here at this 407.2, 407.3 area. And at the same time, on the 15-minute chart, that was a supply level established early morning also. So by all means, 407.2 is an absolute brick wall. And we perfectly rejected it today and ended up in a nice little sell-off. We did still close a green day though, but overall ended up in a nice little sell-off. One thing to keep in mind here is on Friday, I had mentioned that one of the scenarios was that we needed to push up and take out 405.8 demand. This was established back here on February 2nd. We have officially taking out that demand. Why is that important? Because this now opens up an opportunity, and the technicals support it, depending on what happens tomorrow with JPOW, for this to turn into a very nice support or supply up here, which would be resistance, and then push us back down. So something I'm eyeing is a new supply to be established somewhere in this range right here. And then we're going to come back down and take out this 396.4 supply, start a new demand, and then bounce. That's what I'm looking for. We could establish a new demand down in this 400 range and then bounce back up and go start pushing up here. But most likely we're going to attempt to come down to this 396.4 supply. So tomorrow, if you guys don't know, Jay Powell starts his testimony. He speaks with the Senate tomorrow and then the House on Wednesday. In 2022, when he spoke, we had a pretty impressive almost 2% green day, straight trend day, just pushed green all day long. It was followed up the next day by a gap up, and then we dumped. Ended up closing a small red day. In 2021, we actually had a red day. So we opened slightly green and then we just pushed down pretty much all day long. It was only about a negative 0.7 or something like that percent red day though. So pretty mixed bag of what we could get tomorrow. The one thing I'm keeping in mind, and I almost swung some puts because from a technical standpoint, this evening doji star right here after this massive breakout is about picture perfect for a retrace and for us to attempt to get some sort of retest of support down here and fill some of the, there is a technical gap, I believe. Yeah, there's like a 50-cent gap right here, but this is a beautiful play for a retrace down into the low, maybe even as low as 399.7, but most likely we would target somewhere right here on 401.5. But Jay Powell speaks tomorrow, so I'm keeping in mind that the market is finally accepting his hawkishness, I would say, with you see this reaction here to the 50 basis point hike. And surprisingly, the CME rate hike estimate is still 30% for a 50 basis point. So even after last week when all those Fed members said, oh no, just kidding, we're going to do 25 basis point, we actually are seeing a push up still. So, and holding that level. So that'd be kind of interesting to see what happens with this tomorrow, and see what he has to say more importantly. Resistance 2, you can see this 405.3. I've talked about this level forever. Major pivot level. So this big rejection here, we should be looking for some type of retest of 400 to 400.1. Taking a look at futures here, you can see that same exact pattern here. We're going to look to come back down a little bit. We did not quite make it to 4096, 4095 demand. So that is a potential upside target if this turns into a bounce support, which could happen. Or if Jay Powell says something super dovish and we push up. This 4095 would be a really good target to watch for the next resistance. If we take out that demand, that opens up, especially if we can establish a supply, which the daily does support, just like SPYs. We could come back down here and start testing 4020 and 3990 supplies and taking those out in order to bounce and push bullish. So for me at least, my downside target tomorrow, if we get a hawkish JPOW and market accepts that, most importantly, would be 3990 to 4020. Taking a look at the VIX here. VIX had a nice little inside day. Not a whole lot of movement, nothing like that. We're just kind of stuck here. So market, obviously, based on the way the movement was happening today, is pretty much just waiting for JPOW to speak and pretty much just waiting to see what he's going to have to say. So we will talk tomorrow night. We'll see what JPOW has to say and where we go from there.